For thousands of years, the galaxy thrived under the rule of ancient empires, colossal civilizations with fleets so vast they blotted out suns, with technology so advanced that it seemed like they had conquered time itself. To them, the universe was orderly, predictable, and utterly under their control. And then, there was humanity. We were small, new, fragile, a species still learning to crawl among the stars while others had been walking for eons. Our first colony ships were primitive compared to theirs, our weapons outdated, our fleets laughably small. So, when humans were first noticed, the galaxy didn't take us seriously. Why would they? To them, we were little more than noisy children stumbling into an adult's game. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't know, was that humanity had never played by the rules. It began with a single incident. A human colony ship, the Artemis Dawn, drifted too close to a sector controlled by the Threxian Dominion, one of the galaxy's most powerful empires. The Threxians didn't bother sending warnings. They didn't negotiate. They unleashed their warships, confident that the humans would surrender or die quickly. But that's not what happened. The Artemis Dawn was no war vessel. It was filled with settlers, families, engineers, and scientists. Yet when the Threxians attacked, the humans fought back. They rerouted power from life support to their shields. They turned mining lasers into weapons. They sacrificed everything, not because they thought they would win, but because surrender was never an option. By the time reinforcements arrived, the Threxian ships had been destroyed. A colony vessel, outgunned, outmatched, outclassed, had taken down one of the galaxy's most feared patrols. The message was clear. Humanity would not kneel. At first, the galaxy laughed. They called it luck, an accident, a statistical impossibility. But then, it happened again, and again. Every time humanity was pushed, we pushed back harder. Every time we lost, we learned. Where the empires had grown stagnant, humanity adapted. Where others hesitated, humanity improvised. Where others saw fear, humanity saw challenge. This terrified the old powers, because the truth was simple. Humanity didn't play by their rules. Wars followed, not small skirmishes. Wars that shook entire star systems. The empires brought fleets of unimaginable size. They expected humanity to be crushed, erased, and forgotten. But humanity had something no other species had: desperation forged into determination. We had survived ice ages, plagues, famines, and wars that should have ended us. Against overwhelming odds, we had always endured. And now, against alien empires, we would endure again. When the Threxians unleashed their full armada against the Sol system, humanity answered with fire. Entire cities were converted into weapons factories overnight. Civilians became soldiers. Old cargo freighters were turned into makeshift warships. Every human, whether soldier or farmer, became part of the fight. The galaxy watched in disbelief as Earth, the so-called child species, held its ground against giants. Humanity didn't just survive. We counterattacked. The key wasn't technology. It wasn't numbers. It was something the galaxy had forgotten long ago. Unity born from defiance. Other civilizations fought wars of politics and pride. Humanity fought wars of survival. Every battle was personal. Every sacrifice meant something. And every human death became fuel for the fire that burned brighter with each passing day. We refused to accept defeat. We refused to accept chains. And soon, that refusal turned into something the empires feared more than any weapon: victory. The fall of the Threxian stronghold at Valar was the moment everything changed. A combined human fleet, ragtag ships held together with duct tape, improvisation, and sheer willpower, obliterated one of the galaxy's oldest fortresses. The empires could no longer deny the truth. Humanity was not just surviving, humanity was winning. And worse, we were inspiring others. Oppressed species across the galaxy looked to humanity and saw something they had forgotten: hope. If the youngest, weakest species could stand against the empires, then maybe they could too. Rebellions spread like wildfire. The galaxy trembled. But make no mistake, humanity's victories came at a price. Entire colonies were reduced to ash. Entire fleets were lost. Millions of lives paid the cost of defiance. Yet through it all, the human spirit never broke, because we carried something stronger than fear: the belief that no empire, no matter how vast, could ever dictate the fate of humanity. We had looked into the eyes of ancient powers and refused to bow. And that was when the galaxy realized the truth. Humanity was dangerous, not because of our weapons, not because of our technology, but because of our will. The will to resist, the will to adapt, the will to defy the stars themselves. The galaxy had lived in silence for too long, ruled by fear and dominance. But humanity shattered that silence. We tore it apart with fire and fury, with courage and sacrifice. And from that day forward, the galaxy knew that humanity was not a species to be dismissed. We were not weak. We were not fragile. We were the storm. The empires had wanted obedience. Instead, they created their greatest rival. And the name of that rival will echo through eternity. Because when humanity finally defied the stars learned to fear humanity.